SportsCenter.
Hey, I'm Chris Berman. Got a lot of games to cover. Let's get at it. In our first game this week, we had the Browns squeak to a 1-point victory. The Buccaneers won this contest, but will stay at the 4th place in the NFC South. Plexico Burris had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Giants pick up their 11th win of the year. Dolphins, Ravens. Pick up Chris Billy Joe McAllister
is so dangerous. He looks in the eyes of the quarterback. Look at that perfectly. It's an overthrow. And he's got it to the 15, the 10, the 5, 6 points.
The Ravens win this one by the final score of 21-14. Brett Favre passed for 150 yards plus and helped his Packers beat the Bears. In the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, we had the Eagles come away with a decisive 10-point win. Over in Ralston, Maryland, we had the Redskins squeeze out a 4-point victory. Saints, Panthers. Squeeze. Aaron Brooks
is at the 34-yard line and now fakes the quick give through the middle. Going to tuck it under himself to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. What wheels for that QB?
The Saints go on to win this by the final score of 17-13. The Titans defense came away with 4 turnovers in their win at Nashville. The Patriots lost at home in their final game of the year. The Raiders won this contest and will now move to first place in the AFC West. Chiefs, Chargers. The AFC number 23
is set up right near the midfield stripe to get this ball and takes it just in his own territory. Jets right. There are a couple defenders there, but he outruns them. Where's the defense? Touchdown, 53 yards.
The Chiefs go on to win this by the final score of 24-21. Torrey Holt stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Matt Hasselbeck threw for a ton of touchdowns and helped his Seahawks beat the Falcons. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. Luckily, we had a relatively injury-free week, which makes my job just that much easier. D'Angelo Hall might be the biggest loss on this list. It's reported that he's fractured his leg and that he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
Colts, Broncos.
To you.
Edgerrin James
is backed up in his own territory. Tries to bounce outside. He'll have the first down. Shakes another tackle. Goes down the sidelines. Wait a minute. Yes. The ref said his feet were in. He could go all the way, 73 yards.
The Colts win this one by the final score of 21-18.
All right, Boomer, thanks. All right, folks, our playoff picture has now been officially finalized. So let's take a look at it now, shall we? We'll begin with a look at the AFC. Meanwhile, let's take a look at how things stand over in the NFC. So there you have it, the regular season now in the books. Time to see which of these 12 teams will emerge as Super Bowl champs. We'll get it started for you on ESPN next weekend. So that'll do it from here. Boomer, we send it back over to you.
And then there were 12, the playoffs, right around the corner, which means it's time for our regular season awards. But first, my primetime players. The final round of game balls go to these Warriors, each with a standout performance in the final game of the regular season. All right, as promised, here's a look at this year's best of the best, our season-ending NFL awards. Matt Hasselbeck, without a doubt, is going to take home the hardware in this one. You see the numbers on your screen, but numbers really don't tell the whole story. Leadership, work ethic, love of the game, that's what truly makes him stand out. Yeah, without question, the best year of anyone. Peyton Manning has got to be our choice for Offensive Player of the Year, and you've got to be hard-pressed to find better numbers than that. Obviously, give a lot of credit to the rest of the offense, but this is the guy that was driving the car, so to speak. LeVar Arrington gets the nod as our Defensive Player of the Year. I think when you look at this award, you think of guys that can really excel against either the run or the pass, but this guy can do both. What a year he had. Kevin Jones comes away with the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. While being thrown into the starting running back position straight out of college, all right, it raised some questions, but he silenced everyone with nothing short of a remarkable season. Carlos Dansby was our Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hard to think of any young linebacker with better instincts for the football than he has. He wins it in a landslide. Sean Alexander ran away with the rushing title this year. Talk about a threat out of the backfield, my friends. Finesse, speed, a surprising amount of power, which he used to bowl over the few who actually managed to lay a finger on him. What a year. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Vikings end up on the right side of an 11-point game. And last but not least, we had the Bills come away victorious. So before we embark on some serious Super Bowl hype, let's look back and dole out a few game balls for our primetime players from today's conference championships. 32 teams kicked things off back in September, each having this game as their ultimate goal. Only 2 teams remain. One team will stand alone as champions of the National Football League. I'm Chris Berman, and that just about wraps it up. Thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you for the Super Bowl here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. Up next on ESPN, 32 teams kicked things off back in September, each having this game as their ultimate goal. Only 2 teams remain. By the end of the evening, one team will stand alone as champions of the National Football League. The hype is over. It's time to play some football. The Super Bowl, just moments away. Buffalo, Minneapolis, it's game time. Super.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Dan Stevens. Welcome to ESPN's coverage of Super Bowl 39 here in Jacksonville, Florida. As always, I'm with Peter O'Keefe. And Peter, the excitement in the air here is unbelievable.
You got that right. It's what everybody's been waiting for. Coach Malarkey has to be happy with how his team responded to the question he posed at the beginning of the year, can we win it all? Mike Tice is as focused as I've ever seen him. He knows that it all comes down to this one single game, and he has put all of his energies into it. And I tell you what, Dan, let's not shortchange these fans either. They are just as into this as anybody. Wow.
Good to see you, man. It's good to see you, too. Nice day for football today. It's a beautiful day for football. Yeah, so you guys ready for this? Yeah, we're ready. I think we got a little something up our sleeve for you, Coach. We're ready for whatever you got. Okay, Coach. Well, hey, I can't wait for this team to get started. We'll let the best man win. You got it, Coach. Take care.
The U.S. Air Force Precision Flying Team. Super Bowl 39 about to get underway. Let's go to the coin toss.
For the coin toss, one side, 2 helmets, that will be head. The other side, the official Super Bowl logo, that will be tail.
I choose heads.
It's tails. The ref gets the signal, and we're set. Lindell boots the opening kickoff. Moore fields it all the way back at the 1. Breaks 3. Brought down at the 30.
Mewelde Moore received that nice kick and a nice little run back after the catch. Good job. The
Vikings will start this first play of the drive at their own 30-yard line.
Dan, bunch of receivers out there. Defense is expecting that, and they go to nickel.
Catches this one, and he's got the first down and a whole lot more.
Watch out, baby.
Culpepper throws a bullet, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Second down and 4 wideouts in the game.
Down! Leopard. Gun.
Spikes tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete.
What's going on? Down! Twin! Set!
Culpepper sings it to the right side, and it falls incomplete.
Dante Culpepper doesn't blink against the two-man zone coverage back there, but the pass, it never made it to the receiver.
Now he is 0 for his last 3 passes, and you know, you can tell he's starting to get frustrated.
Yeah, all he needs to do is calm down and make the throw.
Bennett lines up for the punt. Bennett takes the long snap and punts it away. Brown fair catches it at the 12. The Bills have a long field ahead of them and start this drive back at their own 13-yard line. Henry gets the call on first down and takes it upfield. Blocked down hard at the 28. It will be first down.
Travis Henry keeps it in the family on this play, and he had a lot of brothers to help him. Yeah, that design run was a success because he followed his blockers. Without him, he wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Henry gets the call again and gets out right. Tackled at the 32.
Travis Henry, he's a real good back. Fourth-year man out of Tennessee, and he's got some nice moves, too. He's the game's focal point most of the time, and if he gets on a roll here, ooh, watch out.
Counter, watch out.
Second and 6.
Wing tripped open.
Wing tripped open.
Live. Down. Go back.
Carries it for a 3rd time in a row and picks up a couple. Third down from the shotgun. Henry takes the snap and runs into traffic. Again gets free.
Okay, bring him out. Bring him out. Bring out the chains.
First, baby, no first. No first, baby, no first. First down, baby. Woo! Yeah, baby, that's how we get it.
Coach Tice doesn't agree with the call, and we're going to see the red flag.
Hey, we want a challenge.
Minnesota is challenging the spot of the ball.
This is their first challenge of the game, and even if they lose this one, they still have one challenge left.
As we watch the replay here, look for where the ball is when he's tackled. Remember, all he needs is one knee to be down.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. Minnesota will not be charged a timeout. Fourth down.
He likes the call, and you sort of have a feeling that he knew it all along. Mormon lines up to punt after the 3 and out.
Number 82 to make the return.
Borman gets the snap and pummels this one deep. Howery fields the deep punt at the 12. Dragged down at the 21.
Keenan Howery returned for a few there, but after that gigantic punt, it was like tearing a single page out of War and Peace. It doesn't make much of a dent.
The Vikings stalled early last drive, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. They'll start at their own 21-yard line. Culpepper throws a bullet to the flat, and it's complete at the 22. Runs out of bounds at the 26.
Randy Moss had nobody on him. The quarterback saw it and got the ball to him.
They move the ball, and it will be second down. Second down, one man back.
Ball, Vikings, 26-yard line.
Check two. I got two open.
Moss pitches the hard throw and gets past the markers for a first down.
Dante Culpepper threw the pass into double coverage, but gets his man perfectly. Hey, that was one accurate throw.
Nice second down call, and they will move the chain.
On offense, it was always a plus to avoid third down altogether, just like that.
Go back. I gotta let it.
Culpepper gets all of his arm into this pass, and the catch is made well past the markers for a first down.
Randy Moss had three guys covering him, but look what happens. Incredible catch.
Nice catch, Peter, and his stats reflect that.
Definitely, Dan. He's now got 26 yards on 3 catches.
Watch the throw. Slide. Shotgun. Shaking two.
Schobel crushes him behind the line at the 44.
Aaron Schobel targeted the ball carrier early and didn't even let him get back to the line of scrimmage.
Peter, they put an end to that play well in the backfield, and they had a real good read on that.
Yeah, it all starts with the guys up front, Dan, and then everybody follows.
Second down coming up. Second down with the tight end, Ryan Culpepper throws a bullet to the flat, and the reception is made for a pickup of maybe a yard.
Kelly Campbell had a defender close by, but was able to bring down the catch.
Well, not much of a gain there, and they will face third down.
Third and long, too, Dan. Big play coming up. Well, Dan, we got an empty backfield, 5 receivers, and the defense is in their dime. Let's watch.
Campbell didn't haul that one in, and it falls incomplete. It'll be fourth down.
Kelly Campbell was frustrated on that play. He got open, but failed to make the catch across the middle for the incompletion.
Third and long, they have a chance, but it's incomplete.
Those are the situations where you want someone to step up and make a play.
But no one did, and it will now be fourth down. Bennett gets ready to punt this away. Bennett gets the ball and punts it away. Brown peels the punt at the 16. Tackled at the 22.
Antonio Brown got swarmed by the kicking team before he got very far. That nice punt pretty much goes unanswered.
The Bills had their last drive stall out at the end. We'll see if they can keep momentum throughout this one, which starts at their own 22-yard line. Evans goes in motion. Is well past the markers for a first down.
Eric Moulds makes the catch here with 3 defenders on his tail. I'll tell you, I was not expecting that pass at all. I wonder if he knew it was coming.
Yeah, Peter, I think you could argue that that throw probably should never have been made. It was very risky, but it did work out.
Yeah, it's all about staying focused and believing in your teammates.
And Peter, that play doesn't get off the ground unless he runs a very precise route.
He had to beat his man. Couple of the best banging heads there.
Henry picks up a yard on the play, and that brings up second down.
Travis Henry had blockers on his side on that last play, but the defense was too smart. It gave him nowhere to go.
Not much there. It'll be second down.
Got to take what you can get, Dan, but they were, hoping for more.
Claiborne takes him down back at the 37.
Chris Claiborne was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the tackle.
That's his second tackle so far. Third down. 9 yards to go. Bledsoe fires this one over the middle, and it's knocked down at the line, incomplete. That will bring up fourth down.
Kenichi Udeze moved quick to bat that one down at the line. Good reaction time.
The defense forces fourth down, and even if they had completed the pass,
it still would have been short.
Yes.
You have to run those routes farther in that situation.
Gorman gets ready to punt this away. Gorman takes the snap and pummels this one deep. Howery takes it at the 17. Tackled hard at the 28.
Keenan Howery returned for a few there, but after that gigantic punt, it was like tearing a single page out of War and Peace. It doesn't make much of a dent.
The Vikings offense will start this drive at their own 28-yard line. Adams gets the sack way back at the 22.
Sam Adams gets the sack deep in the pocket. That's going to be a sizable loss. Watch this. Oh, yeah. That's going to push him back, way back. Great defensive play.
The defensive design worked flawlessly, and the refs will spot the ball well behind the original line of scrimmage.
What a way to derail a series from the onset.
Second and long ahead. Second down, 3 wideouts in the game. Bennett catches it in the flat, and that will be good for a gain of 8. It looks like, we've had an injury down on the field. As soon as we hear anything, we'll be sure to pass the information along to you.
You gonna be all right? Just out. You see this right here? All right.
Feel this?
All right.
It hurts.
Right there.
Don't worry, just...
Oh, you're gonna be all right, man. You're gonna be all right. Let's go,
Let me help you.
Come on.
Come on.
You gotta get. Come on.
I need
you gotta get back to us.
Come on, let's go.
You gonna be all right to play?
We stop them right here and right now.
Ball Vikings 30 yards.
84's mine. 84's mine. Down. Hey, 87's mine. 87's mine.
Culpepper throws a beauty to the right side, and it's complete for a first down and a whole lot more.
Randy Moss took on triple coverage and came away with a phenomenal catch.
Another great catch, and Peter, he's been working that right side of the field with good success.
Yeah, it looks like he's found a weakness, and he's going to exploit it.
Moss makes the catch on the right sideline, and that will be good for a gain of 8.
Randy Moss had 2 guys on him on that play, but still managed to make the catch.
Another short catch, and that's where they've been utilizing him today.
Yeah, the short routes have been open, and he's been exploiting it.
Let's go, baby.
Second down, 2 tight ends in the game. Smith picked up about 7, and that will bring up first down.
Jim Kleinsasser took the defense to school on that last play with a titanic block. And let me tell you, Dan, that was important. People tend to overlook fullbacks, except when you see moves like that.
Nice second down call, and they will move the chain.
On offense, it was always nice to avoid third down altogether, just like that.
Williams gets the handoff and chews up about 4 on the play.
Second and 5. Ball Smith
takes it for his second carry and gains about 3 yards. Third down, 2 wideouts on the field. They couldn't connect on this one. Incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Let's get a hand on that.
Fourth down, and the field goal unit is on the field. Elling kicks from 39 yards out, and they take the lead.
Aaron Elling sends it whizzing between the goalposts for a field goal straight down the pike.
There's the signal, and we're ready. Elling kicks this one away. Brown fields the kickoff at the 1. Stopped at the 23.
Antonio Brown got a very respectable return off that nice kickoff there, Dan.
The Bills stalled early last drive, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. They'll start at their own 23-yard line. Henry is at the 35, 45, 35, 25, 15. Finally pumped out of bounds at the 1. It'll be first and goal.
Antoine Winfield eventually gets there, but I don't know why he even bothered. Big gain, and they'll move the chains. Well, he eventually stops them, but way past the marker, that one's going to hurt.
Peter, that has got to have this defense wondering just what the heck they're doing out there.
Well, they're not playing defense, Dan. They just gave up a whole bushel of yardage there. Well, as you can see, up over the 100-yard mark, just another day in the office.
Campbell goes in motion.
Bledsoe airs this one out beautifully. That's how you throw the ball down. Take notes on you want to be quarterback.
Right on the money, Peter. He is just a fantastic passer.
Well, it's easy to complete a pass when there's only one guy covering the receiver.
He gets the TD and a little congratulations from his teammate.
It's well-deserved, Dan.
Here's the point after, and
The extra
it's
point
good.
is good.
There's the signal, and we're ready. Lindell rockets this one deep. Moore downs this in the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense takes the field, and their running game has yet to get on track. We'll see if it happens here as they start at their own 20-yard line. Moss goes in motion. Williams takes it across the line and picks up a couple. Bennett was shaken up earlier, and I hear Suzy Kolber has a report for us. Suzy?
Thank you, Dan. I got in touch with the team doctor, and apparently he's suffering from a sprained elbow. They're finishing taping him, and it appears that he should be ready to come back very soon. Guys, back to you.
As always, we'll hope for the best up here in the booth. Thank you, Suzy. Posey makes a play on this and forces the incompletion.
Jeff Posey knocked that pass down, and he made sure the only one to touch the football was him.
That is their fourth batted ball. Tell you, we've seen a number of good defensive plays from this squad.
We sure have. We'll see if they can keep it up, though.
Third down, empty backfield. Culpepper unloads this one to the left, and it's tipped. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Izell Reese swatted that one away cleanly. The receiver didn't have a prayer in getting that one.
They have really gotten after the ball as a team today. That is their 5th batted ball.
Nice, aggressive D.
Bennett lines up to punt after the 3 and out. Bennett gets the ball and punts it away. Brown fields the punt at the 34. Stopped at the 37.
Antonio Brown didn't have much room to work with back there. The special team squad made sure he couldn't respond to that really nice punt.
The Bills offense takes the field, and they will start at their 37-yard line. Henry loses one on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Dontarius Thomas was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the tackle.
Peter, once he closes his grip around you, you are not going to get free, regardless of how evasive you are.
Not with that strength. With those guns, he could probably juggle bowling balls, or wide receivers for that matter.
And that'll do it for quarter number 1. The Bills are out in front, 7-3. Henry carries it the ninth time and maybe picks up 1 on the play.
Oh, look at those numbers. That's how to get it done on the ground.
Bledsoe unloads this to the right sideline, and they get the first on 3rd and long.
Bobby Shaw has just one guy on him, and he beats him easily. Even with my few extra pounds, I think I could have done a better job covering him.
I doubt that. He would have smoked you like a salmon.
That sounds pretty good.
3rd and long, and they get the big play to convert. What do you think of that, Peter?
I love it. That's what football is all about, making the big plays when you need to, and you can't coach that.
He carries this off his left tackle and gains about 3 yards.
Okay, what's the plan? Okay, let's go.
Second down, and they line up with 3 tight ends. Henry picks up about 2, and that brings up 3rd down.
Travis Henry stuck close to his blockers, but the play folded quicker than an over-caffeinated origami artist.
Not a lot of room on that play. It will be 3rd down. Henry goes in motion. Bledsoe made a throw that was off target there. Incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Brian Williams shadowed the slant route back there and kept the receiver from making the catch. Incomplete pass.
It seemed like the defense read that one from the beginning, and they forced the incompletion with relative ease.
Beautiful call by the D coordinator.
It'll be 4th down. Mormon lines up for the punt. Mormon gets the snap and punts it away. Fields it at the 11. Tackled at the 14.
Keenan Howard didn't get very far running that ball back, but on the bright side, the kick was pretty lackluster, so his offense gets pretty good field position anyway.
The Vikings bring their offense on the field and will start this drive at their own 14-yard line. Moss hauls it in right side and is well past the markers for a first down. Moss goes in motion. Culpepper rifles it out left side, and it's complete for a gain of 3 yards.
Dante Culpepper made a nice throw there, got it right past the defender.
Another short, controlled pass for the completion. Their short game has been pretty good.
About par, yeah. They haven't been nickel and diming them, but they've been nickeling them.
Flying saucer pitches it in the flat and is at the 35. Ground to a halt at the 39. That will bring up first down.
Dante Culpepper knows how to spread the ball around, as you can see by this passing chart. He's getting the ball into his receiver's hands and has piled up 116 yards and no touchdowns.
First down with a split backfield. Culpepper throws this on a rope, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Jeff Posey couldn't have read that play any better if it was tattooed on the inside of his helmet.
That's his third batted ball, and he is doing his part, that is for sure.
Nice to see aggressive D like that, Dan.
Second and 10. All Vikings, 39-yard line.
Larry. Single back, 25.
Intercepted. Dragged down at the 45.
Check out the interception here on the replay. Watch how he reacts to get in the ball's path. Nice. That's how you make the INT, baby.
Boy, that was a heads-up play to come away with his first interception of the game.
Yeah, you gotta love D like that.
The Bills are going to try and capitalize on the interception. They'll start this drive at the 45-yard line. Shelton goes in motion. Right of center and passes the line. Tackled at the 42.
Travis Henry has done well, but a lot of these yards are from that one big run that he pulled off earlier. Still, I like his numbers, and so far he's racked up 110 yards on 12 carries.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Sacks in way back at the 48.
Jay Henderson comes in untouched on this play and just wallops the quarterback. And where was the O-line, Dan? Did they just give up? Oh, that quarterback's going to be pointing fingers on that one.
They forced that one backwards, and that's going to make this third down that much harder.
Yeah, they also make it easier on themselves by wiping out all of the potential short yardage plays they might face.
Third and long. Bledsoe fires this one over the middle, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Mark Campbell dropped the ball so fast there, you'd think it bit him on the thumb or something.
That's his first drop of the game, and while every drop does hurt, you can't throw too much blame on him for that one.
That would have been a tough catch.
Gorman lines up to punt after the 3 and out. Gorman takes the long snap and punts it away. Well, Peter, some interesting information up on the screen.
Oh, you bet. Not a ton of action, but they're not out of it yet. Their D is playing strong, and a little offensive rhythm could turn this game around.
The Vikings were intercepted last time out. We'll see what happens here. We'll start at their own 20-yard line. Culpepper throws a bullet to the flat, and it's complete at the 23. Finally stopped at the 32. First down.
Randy Moss really delivers on this play. Let's take another look. First at the catch.
There it is, but he's not done. He's going to make his way forward for extra yards.
Oh, he's a go-to guy for sure.
I think the short game is working for them, moving them forward a little at a time.
Yeah, just nickel and diming the D.
Moss goes in motion. Williams has his double call on first down and rambles for about 5.
With the tackle. Double tight.
Second and 5.
Aye.
37-yard line.
I got 11. Down. Set. Back. 43.
Williams picks up about 2, and that will bring up third down. Third down, one man back.
Single back. Single back.
39-yard line.
Down. Deuce, right here.
Wire tips it away on the coverage, incomplete. That will bring up fourth down.
Boy, Wire came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
Another batted ball, and they have been attacking the pass every chance they get.
That's right, Dan. You know, why simply defend the pass when you can obliterate it?
Bennett gets ready to punt this away. Bennett takes the snap and pummels this one deep. Brown fields the deep punt at the 14. Brought down at the 20.
Antonio Brown got pinned deep by a beauty of a kick there, and by the time he looked up, there was nowhere to go.
The Bills have had some trouble moving the ball recently. We'll see what they do on this drive as they start at their own 20-yard line. Grabs the rope right side and is well past the markers for a first down.
Lee Evans makes the catch here with 3 defenders on his tail. I'll tell you, I was not expecting that pass at all. I wonder if he knew it was coming.
Yeah, Peter, I think you could argue that throw probably should never have been made. It was very risky, but it did work out.
Yeah, it's all about staying focused and believing in your teammates.
That's broken kind of a cold streak for him. The last 2 passes his way were incomplete.
Yeah, let's see if he stays on track.
Bledsoe throws a heater, and it's caught at the 48. Finally dropped at the 47. That will bring up first down.
Eric Moulds had a defender close by, but was able to bring down the catch.
A well-designed play there, Peter, and they will move the chains.
And let me tell you, Dan, hearing those chains move is one of the best sounds in the game for an offense.
Reed goes in motion. A couple.
Drew Bledsoe lived dangerously on that play with a pass into double coverage, but the throw was on target. What a pass.
Not much there. It'll be second down.
Got to take what you can get, Dan, but they were hoping for more.
Picks up about 2, and that brings up third down. Third down with the tight end right. Davis tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete. It'll be fourth down.
Rod Davis came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
It seemed like the defense read that one from the beginning, and they forced the incompletion with relative ease.
Beautiful call by the D coordinator.
It'll be fourth down. Mormon lines up for the punt. Mormon gets the snap and punts it away. Howery fields the punt at the 12. Breaks the tackle. Brought down at the 27. It looks like, we've had an injury down on the field. As soon as we hear anything, we'll be sure to pass the information along to you.
You all right? Yeah, that's pretty good.
Right here.
All right.
Feel this?
All right.
It hurts.
Right there. You're gonna be all right, man. You're gonna be all right. Let's go, baby. Come on.
Come on. I need to get back to us. You gonna be all right to play?
The Vikings could take the lead before halftime as their offense will start at their own 27-yard line. Fletcher makes a play on this and forces the incompletion.
London Fletcher managed to disrupt things. He got in there and he smacked that pass away. Great D.
Potential for some nice yards, but the defense plays it tough. That will bring up second down. Second down, both wideouts to the right.
Shotgun. I got two open.
Williams gains 5 on the play, and that will bring up third down.
Okay, fellas, we went over this all week in practice. Now we're going to get it this time. Now we're going to go just like it is. We're going to execute, and we're going to stay strong, and we're going to get to the spots we need to. Okay, fellas?
Let's finish this series off strong, team. Single back.
No good. Incomplete. That will bring up fourth down. Bennett lines up to punt after the 3 and out.
Number 86 to make the return.
Bennett takes the long snap and pummels this one deep. Brown gets it at the 23. Tackled at the 29.
Antonio Brown got pinned deep by a beauty of a kick there, and by the time he looked up, there was nowhere to go.
The Bills are looking for some separation before half and will start this drive at their own 29-yard line. Evans reels in the football and is well past the markers for a first down.
Lee Evans chases down 2 defenders and comes away with the football. Oh, nice catch.
A well-designed play there, Peter, and they will move the chains.
And let me tell you, Dan, hearing those chains move is one of the best sounds in the game for an offense.
First down and 4 wideouts in the game. Bledsoe puts his arm into this one, and it's knocked away from the receiver, incomplete. Howard had to leave the field earlier in the game, and now Suzy Kolber has a report. Suzy?
Thanks, Dan. After coming off the field with some arm pain, the trainers have determined that he's got a pinched nerve in the elbow. He's shaking it off on the sideline, and he told me that he will be ready to go. We'll see if the trainers agree. Back to you.
Thanks, Suzy. Picks up about 2, and that will bring up third down.
Travis Henry used the blocking, but this stingy defense didn't give up much at all on that last play.
Well, not much of a gain there, and they will face third down.
Third and long, too, Dan. Big play coming up.
Third down from the shotgun. Bledsoe unloads this one to the left, and the reception's made at the 38. Tackled, and the clock will continue to run. First down. Makes the catch in the flat and picks up maybe a yard. Second down from the I.
No more good looks.
Bledsoe sends it to the right side, and the Bills take their first timeout.
Give it up, bro. The earlier you end this, the earlier you can go home. Single back.
makes a play on this one and forces the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
Eric Kelly came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
Well, the D holds tight on 3rd and long and forces an incompletion. That was a good call by the defensive coordinator.
Oh, it sure was. Perfect D for that situation.
And it will bring up 4th down. 4th down, and the field goal unit is on the field. It's good.
Ryan Lindell has little trouble pooching this one through. Let's see it again. Yep, he knows that you aren't allowed to miss many of those in this league.
The field goal will extend their lead some here in the first half.
It's still early, but the momentum is definitely behind them now.
The ref gets the signal, and we're set. Lindell booms a beauty here. Howery decides to take it out of the end zone. Back down at the 23.
Keenan Howery got out close to the 20 on that one, so his decision to take it out of the end zone didn't really pay off, but it didn't really hurt him either.
The Vikings offense takes the field with the clock at 11. Williams carries it off the toss and picks up a couple. And that'll do it for the first half of this one. The Bills are out in front 10-3. And now let's send you to Chris Berman in our studios in Bristol for the ESPN halftime report. Boomer?
All right, Dan and Peter, a very interesting first half of football thus far. We'll get back to you in a bit. First, let's welcome everybody to a special Super Bowl edition of our ESPN Halftime Report. I'm Chris Berman. Now let's take a look at the halftime stats. And boy, look at the difference in rushing yards. The Bills should be way ahead on the scoreboard, but somehow they've let their opponent hang with them. Let's see if they can change things in the second half. An exciting start to this one right on the first play from scrimmage. Dante Culpepper connected with his man on this one. The Bills later in the first, Travis Henry would make the first guy miss, then he'd rip off a chunk of yardage here. The Bills midway through the first, Drew Bledsoe would find his target on this one. The Vikes still midway through the first quarter, Dante Culpepper would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. That set up a 40-yard field goal. Vikes out in front, 3-0. Travis Henry is going to take this one right up the gut. Look at the burst as he busts into the secondary. There he goes. A 77-yard play that set up a Bills touchdown. The Bills take their first lead in the game and are now up by 4. The Bills, later on in the second quarter, ball at their own 36. Drew Bledsoe connected with his man on this one. The Vikes, now early in the second quarter, Vikes trailing by 4. Takeo Spikes shows some great awareness here as he gets himself into position to pick this one off. The Bills, middle of the second, Drew Bledsoe would find his target on this one. Bills leading 7-3. Eric Mold emerged as a real weapon as he pulled one in here. That set up a 30-yard field goal. And that's where we'll leave this one. Vikes are down, but still in it, 10-3. Now let's check out the undisputed halftime hero of the first half. Travis Henry has played outstanding. So that does it for our halftime report. We'll send you back now to the second half of this one. Dan Stevens and Peter O'Keefe are there. Gentlemen.
Thanks, Boomer, and welcome back to our broadcast presented in ESPN Game Sound. Designed and developed in collaboration with Dolby, the leader in surround sound technology. The Bills will receive to start the second half, and they currently enjoy a small lead, 10-3. Let's go down to the field. Elling boots the second half kickoff away. Brown fields the second half kickoff at the 6. Stop at the 25. Well, Peter, some interesting information up on the screen.
Oh, you bet. Look at how many times they've had to punt it away. They've got to put a few longer drives together and get into the end zone.
We've got a quick update from ESPN's very own Suzy Kolber. Suzy.
Thanks, Dan. Head coach Mike Tice talked with us at the half and told us that their offense needs some help. He said, "We haven't been able to sustain long drives on offense the way we'd like to. If the defense can get some stops further upfield, they'll give our offense a chance to put some points on the board. We'll see if the D can answer the call." Dan, back to you.
Thanks, Suzy. Henry goes right up the middle and chews up about 4 on the play.
Look at the numbers generated on the ground. That is impressive.
Henry gets the call on 2nd down and rambles for about 5.
You just stay where you are. Down. Green 15. Green 15.
Bledsoe just rifles this one, and it's intercepted.
Kenny Mixon takes time out of his busy schedule of smashing O-lines to make the pickoff. Wow, he may be big, but if you're going to throw that low, he's happy to take it from you.
Boy, that was a heads-up play to come away with his first interception of the game.
Yeah, you got to love D like that.
The Vikings offense takes the field, and they are already in field goal position. They'll line up at the 32-yard line. Snags the missile, and he's looking for room. Eventually shoved out at the 3. It'll be 1st and goal.
Randy Moss fought for a whole lot more after the catch back there. Great run.
Great job fighting for that 1st down. He didn't waste any time.
Well, just because the pass is short of the markers doesn't mean he can't run it the rest of the way. He's a true competitor.
1st down, just a single receiver on the field.
Well, I bet we see the pass here, right to his go-to receiver.
Posey tackles him behind the line of scrimmage.
Jeff Posey was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the tackle.
That's his 3rd tackle of the game.
Single back. Now listen up. Go 27. Listen up. Go 27.
Moss goes in motion. Williams gets the ball again and searches for a hole. Posey penetrates and stops that back at the 5.
Jeff Posey was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the tackle.
That will be 2 losses in a row.
Great reads by the D on the last 2 plays, Dan.
Culpepper rifles it out left side, and it's caught for a touchdown.
Vikings.
Culpepper throws right past the coverage and into his receiver's hands. Nice throw.
Peter, that's his first touchdown pass of the game. How do his stats look?
Well, so far, he's got 162 yards and 1 touchdown.
Now the point after, and it's good.
Point is good.
There's the signal, and we're ready. Ellick kicks it off. Number 19 catches it back at the 3. Tackled at the 20.
Number 19 tried to run it out, but the defense preferred that he stayed put, and they made their case pretty forcefully there.
Let's do it.
The Bills stalled early last drive, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. They'll start at their own 20-yard line. Henry gains 3 yards, and that will bring up second down. Second down, 2 tight ends in the game. Henry gets the ball and gets past the line. Tackled at the 24.
Travis Henry used the blocking, but this stingy defense didn't give up much at all on that last play.
Peter, that has to be tough to do. He used his weight to make the stop, and he did it against one of the most evasive players on the field.
You got to guess a direction in that situation, and he guessed right. That's instincts.
Reed hauls it in right side. They get the first on 3rd and long.
Bledsoe rolled the dice by targeting the receiver with 2 defenders near him. But the pass clicked and they'll move the ball.
Another short pass, and he likes that area of the field so far.
And why not? He's had success there.
Bledsoe unloads this to the right sideline, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Corey Chavis knocked that pass down. Man, he made sure the only one to touch the football was him.
That is their 4th batted ball. Tell you, we've seen a number of good defensive plays from this squad.
We sure have. We'll see if they can keep it up, though.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Henry catches the bullet out left and picks up maybe a yard. And this is nothing but read and react, Peter, which is what all defenders are taught.
Great concentration to nab one shifty runner, stepping up and doing his job.
3rd down.
You don't want none! You don't want none! Down! Blue 57!
Bledsoe throws a high, long one to the right, and it's caught at the 48. One man to beat. Chased down at the 19. It will be first down.
Josh Reed showed why he's such a valuable guy to have downfield.
He makes the catch, but then cuts loose for plenty more.
You can't coach that.
What a play. A massive pickup and an obvious first down, Peter.
They weren't thinking first down as much as they were thinking touchdown on that baby.
Grabs the fastball over the middle, and he picks up 9.
Sam Aiken was getting double coverage there, but it wasn't enough to stop him from making the catch.
Peter, what a nice pickup to get them into a second and short situation.
Yeah, great play, and now they have a bunch of options on what to try next.
Second down and less than a yard. Henry takes his 19th carry of the game and only gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Corey Chavis targeted the ball carrier early and didn't even let him get back to the line of scrimmage.
Another tackle, and he's starting to fill up the stat book.
He is dominating, Dan. So far, he's got 6 tackles.
And he's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Bills! Come on, just rock with me, rock with me.
Precious yards in the ground here. Check it out. Boy, that's some nice running. It's all about field vision. And if you can see where you have room to roam, good things happen.
That's the first time he's seen the end zone, and you know it was going to happen sooner or later.
Oh, he expects to have something under that TD stat at the end of every game.
Here's the extra point, and
the extra point is good.
The ref gets the signal, and we're set. Lindell kicks it off. Moore fields this one deep at the 1. Dodges a tackle. Stopped at the 23.
Mewelde Moore took it out of the end zone, and while it may have been a little risky, he gets out close to the 20, so it all comes out in the wash on that play.
The Vikings offense takes the field, and they will start out at their own 23-yard line. Chobo tackles in behind the line of scrimmage.
Mo Williams just hasn't gotten into a groove and isn't finding running room anywhere. This has been tough, and he struggled to get 18 yards on 9 carries.
They're throwing. Watch the back. Watch the back.
Like 22-yard line.
Left. Down. Single back. Down 44.
Tackled at the 30.
Dante Culpepper took it himself on that last play, and lucky for him, it worked. That's a great scramble.
Third down, empty backfield.
There's no fuel left in their tank.
Wiggins goes in motion. Culpepper zigs to the right side, and this one is incomplete.
With the deflection.
Bennett gets ready to punt this away.
Number 86 to make the return.
Bennett takes the snap and pummels this one deep. Brown fields the deep punt at the 24. Dragged down at the 34.
Antonio Brown returned for a few there, but after that gigantic punt, it was like tearing a single page out of War and Peace. It doesn't make much of a dent.
The Bills send their offense out on the field and will start this drive at their 34-yard line. Henry picks up a yard on the play, and that brings up second down. Second down, tight end to the left. Henry will get the carry on second down and picks up a couple. Bledsoe throws a heater, and it's caught at the 50, 30, 25, eventually pushed out of bounds at the 9. It'll be first and goal.
Brian Williams eventually gets there, but I don't know why he even bothered. Big gain, and they'll move the chains. Well, he eventually stops them, but way past the marker, that one's going to hurt.
He now has 5 tackles in the game. Coverage incomplete.
Eric Kelly came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
A nice defensive play will give him his second batted ball of the game.
Yeah, great read there.
Second down, goal to go. Molds goes in motion. Henry carries it off right tackle and heads wide right. Brought down at the 2.
Well, they can run, but they also have a go-to receiver in there. Let's watch.
Henry will get the carry on third down and gets tackled short of the markers. That will bring up 4th and goal. Fourth down, and the field goal unit is on the field. Lindell from 18 yards, and it's good.
Ryan Lindell puts in an easy short one. A clean kick, no worries.
They'll take the 3 points, but they were hoping for 7.
But that's the second time today they get close, only to have to bring in the kicker.
There's the signal, and we're ready. Lindell rockets this one deep. Moore decides to take it out of the end zone. Dragged down at the 25.
Mewelde Moore took it out of the end zone, and while it may have been a little risky, he gets out close to the 20, so it all comes out in the wash on that play.
The Vikings offense takes the field, and their running game has yet to get on track. We'll see if it happens here as they start at their own 25-yard line. Williams gains 3 yards, and that brings up 2nd down.
Second and 7. Ball, Vikings 28-yard line.
Moss goes in motion. Williams gets the ball and heads left. Tackled at the 32. Third down and 4 wideouts in the game. Culpepper zings it to the right side, and it's off, incomplete.
Jermaine Wiggins looked like he had a solid catch there, and yet somehow he found a way to drop it.
Peter, in third down situations, they have not been successful at all with the pass. This play was more proof.
Boy, third is such a crucial down, Dan, and when you don't convert, it really hurts.
Bennett lines up to punt after the 3 and out.
Number 86 to make the return.
Bennett gets the ball and punts it away. Brown fields the punt at the 24. Stopped at the 36.
Antonio Brown racked up a few yards on the run back there, whittling down the size of the punt a little bit.
The Bills will start this drive at their 36-yard line. Henry takes this one way out left and heads upfield. Finally gets out of bounds at the 50. First down.
Travis Henry works it to the outside and gets a huge gain. That's a great play, great execution. Let's have another look. Yep, got past the marker and eventually runs out of bounds.
Nice run, Peter, and he's putting together some very nice stats.
Definitely. Up to now, he's got 161 yards on 25 carries.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. The Bills enjoying a lead, 20-10. First down, one man back. Henry grabs the rope right side and picks up maybe a yard.
Travis Henry had just one guy on him and makes the most of it. And he schooled that guy so bad, I can smell the chalk dust.
Not much there. It'll be second down.
Got to take what you can get, Dan, but they were, hoping for more.
Bledsoe just rifles this one, and it's tipped incomplete.
Ryan Russell managed to disrupt things. He got in there and he smacked that pass away. Great D.
You know, as a team, they are batting down passes left and right. That is their 6th so far.
Wow, great anticipation of the pass.
Down. Set. Blue 36.
Evans makes the catch out to the left, and they get the first on 3rd and long. First down, 10 yards to go. Bledsoe floats this one out to the right sidelines, and they can't connect. Incomplete.
Mark Campbell had a chance for a mid-range completion back there, but he just couldn't connect. No catch.
That's his 2nd drop, and he cannot be happy with that. Sometimes the ball bounces your way, and sometimes it just...
It doesn't.
Exactly.
Raise it. Down. Single back. Single.
Molds goes in motion.
Green 15.
Henry has his number called on 2nd down and picks up a couple.
Travis Henry used the blocking, but this stingy defense didn't give up much at all on that last play.
Well, not much of a game there, and they will face 3rd down.
3rd and long, too, Dan. Big play coming up. Wow, look at those tackles. That's how you play sideline to sideline.
22. Brown 22.
Bledsoe throws a big rainbow here, and it's complete for a first down and a whole lot more.
Drew Bledsoe goes right past the coverage and into his receiver's hands. Nice throw.
And Peter, if you were looking at this matchup on paper, you'd figure that this would have gone the other way.
You betcha. He's given away a few inches in height, but he's still able to get those arms up and pull it in.
First down, both tight ends left. Henry picks up a yard on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
They're going there. They're going there.
Bledsoe throws a high, long one to the right, and it's off. Incomplete.
Lee Evans had that ball in his hands on that play, and then he just dropped it.
Another ball comes his way, and another incompletion. To come up blank so many times in a row is, well, it's got to be demoralizing for a player.
Absolutely, but you got to fight through the slump and grab one to get rolling again.
Williams makes a play on this one and forces the incompletion. That will bring up 4th and goal.
Brian Williams got himself in prime position to bat away that football before the receiver even had a shot at it.
Another batted ball, and they have been attacking the pass every chance they get.
That's right, Dan. You know, why simply defend the pass when you can obliterate it?
Lindell with a 25-yarder, and it's no good. It bounced off the upright and then out.
Ryan Lindell doinks the upright here. Let's watch this again. Well, sure, Dan, it's a little embarrassing, but isn't that what instant replay is all about? A player screws up, and it's our ratings grabber.
The Vikings have had some trouble moving the ball recently. We'll see what they do on this drive as they start at their own 20-yard line. Williams will get the carry on first down and heads wide right. Eventually tackled at the 38. That will bring up first down.
Look at this run, Dan. Everything worked out to perfection. Look at the fluidity of the running style. There's no wasted motion there. What a play.
A well-designed play there, Peter, and they will move the chains.
And let me tell you, Dan, hearing those chains move is one of the best sounds in the game for an offense.
Single back. Single back. Go.
Adams gets the sack at the 34.
Sam Adams dismantled that play by bringing down the quarterback for a loss of yardage.
Peter, he's really gotten after the quarterback in this game.
Oh, you can say that again. So far, he's got 2 tackles and 2 sacks.
Second down and 4 wideouts in the game.
Single back. Single 13.
Clements makes a play on this and forces the incompletion.
Nate Clements came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
A nice defensive play will give him his second batted ball of the game.
Yeah, great read there.
Earn those paychecks, dude. Earn those paychecks. Single back. Single back. I got 3 over here. Down. Set. Black 25. Black.
Culpepper throws a big high lob, and it's complete at the 43, hunted down at the 39. It will be first down. Adams gets the sack way back at the 45.
The Bills need only 3 linemen here to get to the quarterback.
Great hit. Yeah, makes you wonder what they would have used a 4th lineman for.
Well, he could have stood back and taken pictures for the defense's scrapbook.
The defensive design worked flawlessly, and the refs will spot the ball well behind the original line of scrimmage.
What a way to derail a series from the onset.
Second and long ahead. Second down, 3 wideouts in the game. Culpepper floats this one out to the right sidelines, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Troy Vincent came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
And Peter, general managers nowadays really love to find those tall receivers, don't they?
And you saw why right there. That's the only way you can beat great coverage like that.
Praylow tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete. 4th down coming up.
Pearson Praylow came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
It was 3rd and very long, and it didn't look too hard for the defense to stop that play right in its tracks.
You know, Dan, that's what pressure on 1st and 2nd down will get you. You push them into a hole, and then it's hard to climb up.
4th down ahead. Bennett gets the ball and punts it away. The Bills let this one bounce out of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills had their last drive stall out at the end. We'll see if they can keep momentum throughout this one, which starts at their own 20-yard line. Henry takes his 28th carry and picks up a couple.
Pass is going over the
Second
top.
and 8. All Bills 22-yard line.
Campbell goes in motion. Henry takes a handoff and gains about 3 yards.
Travis Henry has taken it to the offense, sure enough, but you have to credit him for that huge run he broke off earlier. Real dangerous as soon as he gets past the line. I like his numbers here. So far, he's racked up 169 yards and 1 touchdown.
Counter. Double tight. Rip. Falls back. Now let it. Green 17.
Henry falls off his left guard and is dropped short of the markers. That will bring up 4th down.
Brian Russell brought down the ball carrier before the markers. There was some gain there, but not enough for the first.
They let the ball move close to the first, but they could not let it pass.
That's a great job holding them back, Dan.
4th and short. Gorman lines up to punt after the 3 and out. Mormon takes the long snap and punts it away. Howard at the 33. Popped hard at the 39. It looks like, we've had an injury down on the field. As soon as we hear anything, we'll be sure to pass the information along to you. The Vikings offense takes the field, and their running game really hasn't generated much other than a big play here or there. We'll see how they fare as they start at their 39-yard line. Robinson catches this one and is well past the markers for a first down.
Oh, wow. Look at the yardage racked up through the air.
Culpepper throws a bullet to the flat, and it's complete at the 43, tackled at the 40. Second down, 2 wideouts on the field. Chobo tackles him behind the line of scrimmage. Culpepper throws a bullet to the flat and punt. However, it's short of the markers. It'll be 4th down. Campbell catches the hard throw, and they somehow get the first off a big 4th and long. Culpepper rifles this one hard over the middle, and it's not reeled in. Incomplete.
Troy Vincent was on that fly ball on that last play like glue. Man, he knew where the pass was going, and he stopped it. Incomplete.
He's shaking it off on the sideline, and he told me that he will be ready to go. We'll see if the trainers agree. Dan?
Thanks, Suzy.
Second and 10.
It's intercepted. Brought down at the 22.
Izell Reese not only shanghais the football for the interception, but watch. Gets a few more after the catch. Great play all around. To react, make the catch, and then get some yardage to boot, you can't coach that.
Well, that's their second interception of the game, and stingy is appearing to be the motto for their defense.
Yeah, either that or give me the ball.
The Bills are in control, but it's far from over. The offense comes out and will start this drive at their own 22-yard line. Henry barges off right guard and gains about 3 yards.
Okay, guys, we've covered this before. You know the plan. You know what to do. Stick to the plan.
Second down, just a single receiver on the field. Second down, the clock is stopped at 2 minutes. Molds goes in motion. Henry is at the 40, 45, 35, 20, 10, 5. He's in for the touchdown.
Touchdown, Bills! Come on, just rock with me, rock with me. Everybody just ride, just nod your head and ride. Now just pass with me, everybody just rock with me. Come on, just nod your head and ride.
Travis Henry sticks close to his blockers here. and it pays off.
That was his second rushing touchdown of the day. Not a bad day at the office so far.
That's typical production for him, Dan. He's that kind of player. Check it out. Over 250 yards. The game's not over yet. Records could fall today.
Now the point after, and
The extra point is good.
the ref gets the signal, and we're set. Lindell kicks this one away. Howery fields the kickoff at the 3. Tackled at the 24.
Keenan Howery tried to run it out, but the defense preferred that he stayed put, and they made their case pretty forcefully there.
The Vikings start this drive of the game from well in their own territory, and the clock at 1:47. Culpepper right out left side, and the Vikings take their first timeout. Second down. The clock is stopped at 1:43.
I see two.
Moss hauls it in right side and is at the 45. Breaks free, runs out, and that will stop the clock at 1:35. It will be first down.
Randy Moss got out of bounds at the end of the run and wisely stopped the clock.
A well-designed play there, Peter, and they will move the chains.
Great execution.
First down, and 5 wide receivers take the field. Culpepper really rifles this pass, and it's incomplete.
Kelly Campbell had some room on the fringes there, but couldn't reel in the pass.
Potential for a quick first down, but no, they cannot hook up the pass.
You can take a shot in that situation, and it's really not going to hurt you. That's a good call.
That'll bring up second down.
Single back. Deuce, right here. I got two.
Moss pulls in a lob here and tries to get free. The Vikings will take a timeout. That's their second. First down from the shotgun. Culpepper throws a bullet, and it is not reeled in. Incomplete.
Willis McGahee did a beautiful job on that last play covering the post route. That pass never had a chance. Incomplete.
That had potential for some yards, Peter, but the defense was on top of it and shut it down.
Good denial there.
Second down coming up. Second down. The clock is stopped at 1:21. Slides down. The Vikings take a timeout. That's their final one. First down, and this is the 7th play of the drive.
Liz. I see two. Oh, 52.
Culpepper ropes this to the end zone, and it's cut for the score.
Touchdown, Vikings.
Dante Culpepper goes right past the coverage and into his receiver's hands. Nice throw.
That gives him his second touchdown of the day.
Dan, he's definitely making his presence felt out there as well as on the scoreboard.
Now the extra point, and it's good. setting up for the onside kick. Elliott bounces it up. He gathers it up at the 42. Dragged down at the 42. Natil with the tackle.
Randy! Hey, yo, I got him ready. I got him ready. Down! Set! Green, 18!
Second and 11. Ball at the 44-yard line.
Down! Set! Blue 36! Blue 36! Oh yeah, keep it up, D! Keep it up!
This one is in the books.
A couple class acts down there. Great coaches.
And there is our Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, and he deserved it, and what a performance.
Congratulations.
You know, Dan, that is such a great feeling. Let the party begin, baby.
And there it is. It's official. Well, that wraps it up for this year, Peter O'Keefe, along with me, Dan Stevens. See you all next year. For my partner, Peter O'Keefe, this is Dan Stevens saying goodbye until next time.
All right, gang, great work as always in bringing this one to us. And welcome one and all to our extra special Super Bowl edition of the ESPN Video Game Post-Game Report. I'm Chris Berman. The Bills stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Let's get started in this one early in the third quarter. Kenny Mixon shows some great awareness here as he gets himself into position to pick this one off. The Vikes have it off an interception, the ball at the 33. Randy Moss ran a terrific route here and was able to pull this one in. A 29-yard play that set up a Viking touchdown. The Bills answering right back, game tied 10-all. Josh Reed came up with a huge play here as they cover a lot of real estate on this one. The Bills again have it. Lee Evans came up with a big play as he was able to pull this one in. That set up an extra point-like 19-yard field goal. Bills up 20-10. Drew Bledsoe would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. The Vikes, after a missed field goal, Mo Williams let his big all offensive line pave the way on this one. Vikes back by 10. Izell Reese would come up with a big play to kill a drive because he was able to step in front of a wayward pass for an INT. The Bills have it off an interception. Travis Henry is going to get the carry here as they grind it out on the ground. He makes the most of this one. A 75-yard touchdown for the Bills. Bills winning 27-10. Randy Moss found a soft spot on the defense and have worked to his advantage. 39-yard play that set up a Viking touchdown. And that's where we'll leave this one. Bills come away with a win, 27-17. Now let's talk to a player who was instrumental in their dominant running game and is our player of the game. Travis Henry is on hand with Suzy Kolber. Suze?
Thank you, Chris. You were fantastic, and you were instrumental in helping your team snag the win. What gave you guys the edge today?
Defensively, our DBs did a heck of a job today. They did well on coverage, were reading the plays. They played big time today. They should get a lot of credit for this win.
Back to you, Chris.
Well, that just about does it. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time here on ESPN, celebrating 25 years as the worldwide leader in sports. I'm Chris Berman. So long.